Fan favorite Robert Irwin dedicated his modern dance performance to his mother Terri, who raised him as a single mom after the death of his famous dad, crocodile hunter Steve Irwin.
Nearly 20 years after Steve Irwin's passing, his family faced another deeply personal challenge, one that left Terri and Robert Irwin fighting back tears as they spoke about Bindi Irwin's health. What began as a celebration of Steve's conservation legacy quickly became an emotional reminder that even after years of healing, the Irwin family continues to face battles away from the public eye. The gala that left everyone asking the same question. In May 2026, supporters of wildlife conservation gathered at the Bellagio Resort and Casino in Las Vegas for the third annual Steve Irwin Gala, an annual event dedicated to continuing the conservation work Steve Irwin devoted his life to. The evening brought together conservation supporters, family friends, and many of Robert Irwin's new friends from Dancing with the Stars to celebrate Steve's enduring legacy. Yet, before the program even began, one detail stood out. For the second consecutive year, Bindi Irwin was absent. As Terri and Robert Irwin walked the red carpet, reporters immediately asked the question many people had been wondering. Where was Bindi? Terri reassured everyone that her daughter was recovering well, but explained that long-distance travel remained difficult at this stage of her healing. She expressed hope that Bindi would attend next year's gala, saying that staying close to home was simply the best decision for now. One brief remark from Terri quickly became the moment everyone was talking about. With a smile, she said it was actually easier for Bindi to stay home feeding crocodiles than to make the journey to Las Vegas. Although the remark drew laughter, it also hinted at a reality that many people didn't fully understand. Robert offered more insight, explaining that someone needed to remain at Australia Zoo while the rest of the family attended the gala. With hundreds of staff caring for thousands of animals, Bindi had chosen to stay behind and help oversee the zoo's daily operations, continuing the conservation work that has always been central to the Irwin family. Despite their reassuring words, there were moments when emotion quietly surfaced. It became clear that Bindi's absence wasn't simply about missing an event. It reflected a much longer journey that the family had been facing away from the public eye. For many watching, the evening became more than a celebration of Steve Irwin's legacy. It also raised important questions about Bindi's health and why her recovery had become the family's top priority. The answer stretched back more than a decade, revealing a personal battle she had chosen to keep largely out of the spotlight. The health battle, Bindi. Hid for years. For years, Bindi Irwin appeared to face every challenge with the same optimism that made her a familiar face around the world. Whether caring for wildlife, promoting conservation, or spending time with her family, few people realized she was quietly battling a painful medical condition that had gone undiagnosed for more than a decade. In March 2023, Bindi decided to share her story publicly. Posting from a hospital bed, she revealed that she had been diagnosed with endometriosis, a chronic condition that had caused years of severe pain. She explained that she had undergone countless medical appointments, scans, and tests before finally receiving the answers she had been searching for. Her first surgery took place in New York under the care of endometriosis specialist Dr. Tamer Sekin. During the procedure, doctors removed 37 endometriosis lesions, along with a chocolate cyst that had attached one of her ovaries to the side of her body. The operation gave Bindi hope that she could finally begin moving forward. But the battle wasn't over. In 2025, the pain unexpectedly returned. Bindi had traveled to Las Vegas for the second annual Steve Irwin Gala, but her condition suddenly worsened. Despite trying to push through the discomfort, doctors determined that she required emergency surgery. Instead of attending the gala, she flew directly to New York, where surgeons removed her appendix, excised 14 additional endometriosis lesions, and repaired a hernia related to childbirth. Across both surgeries, doctors removed a total of 51 endometriosis lesions, marking another major milestone in her long recovery. By August 2025, Bindi shared encouraging news with her supporters, saying she could once again enjoy everyday life without the overwhelming pain that had once affected nearly everything she did. She even said she was finally beginning to feel like herself again. That progress also explained why Terri was so protective during the 2026 Steve Irwin Gala. Although Bindi had made significant progress, Long-distance travel remained difficult, and her family believed that protecting her health was more important than attending any public event. For the Irwins, Bindi's absence wasn't simply about missing a gala. It reflected a long journey of resilience, healing, and putting her health first before returning to the public eye. Robert's emotional tribute to his mother. While Bindi focused on healing, Robert Irwin found himself facing a very different challenge. In 2025, he joined Dancing with the Stars, where one performance became one of the most emotional moments of the season. During dedication night, Robert chose to honor his mother, Terri Irwin. Speaking before the performance, he reflected on losing his father at just 2 years old and praised Terri for carrying their family forward through unimaginable grief. He credited her strength with giving both him and Bindi the opportunity to continue Steve Irwin's conservation mission. As Robert performed, Terri watched from the audience with visible emotion. At the end of the routine, she joined him on the dance floor, and the two embraced as the performance came to a close. The heartfelt moment resonated with both the judges and viewers, many of whom were moved to tears. Later, Terri admitted that after Steve's passing, there were times when smiling felt impossible. She said it was her children who gave her the strength to keep moving forward, reminding her every day that Steve's legacy was still alive through them. For many watching, it wasn't simply a dance. It was a powerful tribute to a family that had chosen hope over heartbreak. Carrying Steve Irwin's legacy forward, Robert's emotional performance was only one chapter in a much larger story. As the Irwin family continues to move forward, they remain united by the mission Steve Irwin devoted his life to, protecting wildlife and inspiring others to care for the natural world. During the Steve Irwin Gala, reporters asked Terri and Robert a question they have heard countless times over the years. What would Steve think if he could see all of this today? Terri answered with her usual warmth and humor, saying Steve would probably be amazed to find them celebrating conservation in Las Vegas. She also pointed out that the city has quietly supported many charitable and humanitarian causes, making it a fitting place to continue the family's work. Robert then shared a thought that stayed with many viewers long after the interview ended. He said that, even after nearly 2 decades, people still approach him almost every day to share stories about how Steve Irwin inspired their lives. To him, that lasting impact is proof that his father's message continues to reach new generations. He also gave heartfelt credit to Terri, saying she had been the driving force behind keeping Steve's vision alive while raising 2 young children after his passing. Her strength, he explained, allowed their family to continue the work that meant so much to Steve. For the Irwins, preserving Steve's legacy has never been about looking back. It's about carrying his passion forward, one generation at a time. A legacy that lives on as the Irwin family approaches the 20th anniversary of Steve Irwin's passing. His absence is still deeply felt, but so is his influence. Nearly every milestone they celebrate reflects the values he dedicated his life to: family, conservation, and educating future generations about wildlife. Robert has often said he feels closest to his father while working in the Australian wilderness. During one crocodile research expedition, he even encountered a crocodile that had previously been tagged by Steve years earlier, a moment he described as a powerful reminder that his father's legacy continues to guide him. Today, the Irwin family continues proving that Steve's greatest legacy wasn't only wildlife conservation, it was the resilience and compassion he inspired in those closest to him. By continuing the work he loved and supporting one another through every challenge, Terri, Bindi, and Robert continue to inspire millions around the world. Today, the Irwin family continues proving that Steve's greatest legacy wasn't only wildlife conservation, it was the resilience and compassion he inspired in those closest to him. By carrying his mission forward together, Terri, Bindi, and Robert continue to inspire millions, reminding the world that Steve's spirit lives on through the family he loved most. Their story is no longer defined only by loss. It is one of resilience, healing, and honoring Steve's dream by continuing the work he loved. Through every challenge they face together, the Irwin family continues to inspire millions with the same compassion, courage, and determination that made Steve Irwin unforgettable. Nearly 20 years after Steve Irwin's passing, his family's love, strength, and dedication continue to inspire people around the world. Through every challenge, They have remained united while carrying forward the conservation mission he cherished. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more inspiring stories. Thanks for watching.